welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers. I'm your host, Chris McGee, joined by Laker insider Michael Bresnahan, along with the man that does it all for the Los Angeles Lakers, Lakers reporter, Mike Trudell. Hi, Mike.
It's just nice to see you in the studio.
It's good to see. It's good to see you guys. Did you guys have a nice weekend?
He really does do it ALL, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
Well, guys,
writing, reporting.
You know, I'm happy to be covering a team that has a shot to get into the mix. And I know it's not perfect right now, right? I mean, LeBron is still out for a little bit longer. We'll see when D'Lo comes back.
But there's hope.
But there's something there.
There's hope.
There's something there. We like how they're playing.
And there was a fun one yesterday, right?
Yeah,
the purple and gold have been rolling along with urgency, and they defeated the Warriors Sunday, 113-105 to finish up the regular season, 3-1 in the series. Anthony Davis, just short of a 40-piece, led the Lake Show. Lakers are now 3 games under 500, are currently tied for 10th spot in the West with the Utah Jazz at 31-34. Here's more from Coach Darvin Ham on the win.
Everybody's just, you know, breaking down, dissecting what we were seeing, what we saw in that last game in particular, and how much we can improve in different areas of our game. And again, it was great carryover from our pace, running habits, maintaining those throughout the course of the game, our attention to detail defensively, our rebounding. You know, this team that can also beat you up on offensive glass, get those second and third opportunities, and you know, just to make those threes. But they came out with a barrage, man. 18 threes. That's who they are, though. They're the world champs for a reason. My hat's off to them. They have a hell of a ball club over there. But I'm truly, truly proud of our guys just coming out and staying locked in for the duration of the game and come away with a W, a much-needed W.
We want everybody to be aggressive. We don't want anybody to feel like, they have to defer to anyone. You know, we got a lot of depth on this team. Guys can make plays. I mean, you see JV handling the ball, get a Euro to a layup, B's coming off pick and roll, finding guys, shooting. Dennis, myself, like all these guys AR. So, we don't want guys to be one-dimensional. We want guys to go out here and play free and have fun.
Lakers had fight in this win. They showed some grit. That's a good test against the champs, right? Especially when they're getting Steph back and they have a little momentum, coming off some home wins. What did it show you?
I thought they really answered the bell. The previous game, losing Minnesota, Darvin was pretty animated after that game. He talked about what he writes on the board, energy, effort, and urgency, how none of that was addressed in the loss to Minnesota. I thought they answered really strongly. I love the balanced scoring, too. 6 guys in double figures after not exactly that type of production against Minnesota. So if you can have these amazing efforts from AD, Mike, and get some nice fill-in scoring from, at least 3 or 4 other guys, this team can keep afloat without LeBron and D'Angelo, however long that's going to be.
Well, Anthony Davis was spectacular, and he's been spectacular. Geeter, I'm sure we're going to talk more about him in a little bit, but he got some key help. Jared Vanderbilt, although he didn't play as much in the second half, the way that the rotation was breaking down, was plus 25 for the game, flying in for rebounds all over the place. Austin Reeves was great. A lot of his production came in the second half when they really needed some of that playmaking. Troy Brown Jr. started out great, continues to shoot the ball well. He's playing defense. They're all chasing, whether it's Steph or Clay or Jordan Poole. That's 3 guys that you have to always be aware of where they are on the court. So it was a really good team win. And I thought Brez made the point about Darvin. So Darvin was a little bit more aggressive in the way that he spoke about the team and kind of needing more after the Minnesota game. And then before the Golden State game, he said, yeah, I might have been a little emotional. I talked to, but
it was a sloppy game by them, though. Yeah.
But they did give pretty good effort, but part of it was slop. Part of it was just like Minnesota had some athletes. They were extending the defense. No D'Lo, no LeBron, and they just were struggling to get into some of their sets.
Night.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I think that the way that Darvin communicated that, though, too, maybe that was what gave them a little bit of the extra energy that they needed to beat Golden State. So it ended up working out like that.
I like that. What do you guys want to see carry over to Tuesday against Memphis?
Well, I mean, definitely you got to stay urgent for sure. Here's my concern about this game. Okay, no Ja. Probably no Steven Adams as well. You've got to make sure that you don't let up. I mean, this team, even when LeBron was playing, one of his go-to quotes was, our room for error is so small with this team. And you have to really kind of put that in your pocket and take it with you to the game tomorrow, because this Memphis team without Ja and without Steven Adams scored 51 in the third quarter against the Clippers last night, had a chance of winning that game. So you got to be really careful not letting just Tyus Jones, It's just whomever, you know. You got to take this game really seriously, Mike.
Well, as you know, and I think you share the same take, but Tyus Jones, really good player.
Very good player.
One of the best backup point guards, maybe the best in the NBA. I think he should be in those six-man discussions that seem to more often go to just whoever scores the most off the bench, which I've never quite understood. We'll save that for a different topic, maybe a different show.
Off-season show.
Okay, 100%. Great off-season show. Yeah, stay tuned. So if you look at this matchup, like we'll get into what the specifics are that they have to do against a good Memphis team, but to me, it's just the formula that they have to win with until they get either Russell, and of course he'll be back before LeBron, or LeBron back. It has to be that defensive focus that is anchored by Anthony Davis and all of the perimeter guys flying around, knowing that he has their back at the rim. Like, that is the staple, and then they can try to get into offense out of that. It's not going to be a good enough team to just outscore teams and to out-execute teams, and there isn't really a guard that's going to demand too much attention in terms of like a double team on the perimeter or anything like that. So teams are going to keep focusing on Anthony Davis on the offensive end, and they have to play off that. But, Geeter, they have to maintain the defensive way that they started the season with before they started to score a little bit more in the middle of the season. Like, it's got to be on that defensive end.
You had mentioned AD before. Many wondered how AD would respond with LeBron out of the lineup, and the numbers don't lie. AD getting it done. Lake Show as of late. Check out the last 4 games. 30 points, 28, 38, 39. So absolutely balling. AD. Those are MVP-like performances, Brez. Attacking the rim, a plus 17 in 37.5 minutes. Could you make a case that Sunday was one of his best games of the year, the best?
I think so. You know, it's just, we're going to use this phrase a lot over the next 4.5, 5 weeks. It was a must-win game. They had to win that game, and they did because of him primarily. And you know what I like, Mike? He's also kind of rediscovering his outside touch. He's now 3 for 7 from the three-point line in the last 2 games. He's going back to that shot, which is only going to make him more effective in the post, because what do you do with this guy? He's becoming the guy that was Mr. December, and he was just dominating and just crushing it, and kind of an outside shot at the MVP despite the Lakers' poor record back at that time. But he's doing a lot of this too, Mike. I liked a lot of his going to the basket motion in the post as well in that last game.
Well, the thing for AD, this is kind of a more broad conversation because defensively, he's always been great, even when he hasn't necessarily been in rhythm on the offensive end. When does his rhythm come on the offensive end? Basically, if he plays a month straight of basketball. Because if he plays a month straight of basketball, he's got it all flowing. The jump shot, he can extend back to 3. He's always been a good ball handler. Of course, he was a guard in high school before he had the crazy growth spurt. Like, he really has a well-rounded game. His passing's gotten a lot better in the last couple of years. I think playing with LeBron has helped him in that sense. So it's all there. It's all there. And to be able to be this efficient and this productive offensively while other teams are loading up on him, the way, Geeter, that he's doing that to me is not settling. And I think the best example of that is just going right at Draymond Green, maybe the best matchup for him in the league, one of the best defenders, and he goes baseline and scores over him, plus some contact, even though he doesn't get the call. So to me, it's as simple as just, can he stay on the court for a certain amount of time? I've never questioned his game, and I don't even worry about if the jumper's not going in for a couple of weeks. To me, that's not that big of a deal.
Without LeBron and D'Lo is questionable. We don't know when he's going to return, but he's questionable for Tuesday's game. And to help kind of alleviate and take pressure off of Dennis Schroeder, they're really running things through AD. He had 6 assists. Like you said, he's getting to be a better passer. I thought that was a great point. Do you like that recipe?
I do.
Through AD?
I do. I mean, look, LeBron even said it at AD's press conference, his introductory press conference a few years ago. This offense should run through AD. And of course, you know, plenty of time for LeBron, for the offense to run through him too. But we're seeing kind of that vision, even on LeBron's sideline, and it's working. It definitely worked against Golden State. So yeah, keep it through him, but you got to give him support. You know, when I talked to him in the locker room after the Minnesota loss, he said, yeah, you know, we need more guys to step up. And he wasn't being a jerk about it. He's just like, you know, we're missing 2 key starters. He was basically saying, I need some help, because he had 38 points in that loss, right? So, you know, if he can get just a above average output from guys like Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker, you know, Malik Beasley, this team can keep winning until D'Angelo and LeBron come back.
So AD, I mean, I mentioned Draymond Green. There's a couple other players in the league that you would think about, maybe Giannis, you know, maybe Evan Mobley, like a couple of guys, but even those guys can't really stop AD. He's too versatile. He's got too much stuff. You're either too small or too big or not quick enough. whatever it is, like he's got a counter for it.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to try to guard him straight up and he's facing up, he can jab step, he can cross over. And when he crosses over, it's a little different from what you might have done at Crespi High. Because he just puts one foot.
A little different.
And it's in the middle of the lane already. And then he can go to his little floater game. He can step back. So to me, that has to stay the same. Brez is right. Like, just give him the ball more. But the guy that I like as the secondary part of that is, with Dennis Schroeder starting, of course, is Austin Reeves. Because Austin is the one guy who not only can he create some advantages for himself that he doesn't even always take, but I just trust him to know when AD needs a touch if he hasn't gotten one. So I want a little bit more Austin Reeves in the context of, we'll see about D'Lo and LeBron getting back.
All right, guys, here's the latest on the Lakers injury report, because that is always a story. AD, he's probable. D'Angelo Russell, questionable. Mo Bamba, out with the ankle. LeBron James, right foot tendon injury. He is out. There have been media reports that LeBron has started his recovery back at rehab, but there is no timetable for his return. The Kings missed 18 games so far. Lakers are 6-12. LeBron may not be playing, but he has been zipping and zagging around the arena on a scooter.
Yeah.
There's another sighting Sunday, the Warriors game. Mike, you like seeing him kind of get around like that? I mean, I'd rather him play, but it's kind of a nice way to get around the arena.
Yeah, you know, I worried a little bit about that, where there's that little thing in the hallway, you know, when it goes between the like that. I didn't want him to trip on that.
Yeah, we don't need another injury.
And once I saw that, though, it was fine. And granted, you know, LeBron, like, let's say he does go down the scooter there, he's fine. He's got that covered. The thing's in a boot. Not too worried about it. Good pace. You know,
good pace.
I wouldn't be mad if he even tried to go a little faster, Brez.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it.
Make it mechanized or something. You know, don't even need that.
A little button.
Yeah, a little button.
Brez, obviously,
get up to like 20 miles an hour.
Obviously, we love the scooter. We'd rather see him on the court.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If I said to you, April 2nd is the last 5 games, starts the last 5 games for the playoffs, do you think he's back? Is it realistic to have that goal?
I do. And if there's any question, you know, if he's healthy, he's playing, first of all. And I think the play-in race is going to be so tight. It might come down to head-to-head tiebreakers. That if he's healthy, he's going to jump back in and try to make sure this team gets into the play-in tournament. And by the way, why not get greedy? Why not try to get a 7 or an 8 instead of a 9 or a 10? So at least it's not, you know, single elimination if you happen to lose in the 7-8 game. So I think he's back. It can only help the team, obviously. But until then, he can just scoot around, Mike.
Scoot around. Straight ahead on Access Sportsnet, Lakers. The Lakers took down the Golden State Warriors, working their way up the standings. Just where will they land as they continue?